secrets of the heart. In this emotionally charged and sensual confession, Emily opens up about a forbidden and passionate affair that turned her life upside down. Feeling invisible and neglected in her marriage to Nick, Emily found solace in the arms of his father, Thomas, whose charm and magnetic presence filled a void she couldn't ignore. What began as innocent gestures of kindness, a helping hand, and deep conversations quickly escalated into electric touches and stolen moments of desire. One fateful evening, over glasses of wine and lingering glances, they crossed the line, unleashing a torrent of forbidden passion. From then on, their secret meetings were filled with whispers, longing, and an intoxicating mix of guilt and lust that neither could resist. Will Emily find forgiveness? Will her secrets tear everything apart? Watch the full video to uncover the gripping twists and turns of this shocking story. Welcome to Silent Confessions, the space where untold truths and buried emotions come to light. This is more than just a channel. It's a place for raw, unfiltered stories that dive deep into the complexities of love, betrayal, and redemption. Here we explore the human experience in all its messy, beautiful, and heartbreaking reality. Every story shared here carries a piece of someone's soul, a confession that's been locked away, waiting to be heard. Whether you're here out of curiosity or looking for a connection to your own life, you're in the right place. These aren't just stories. They're windows into the depths of human emotion, reminding us that we're never truly alone. If you're ready to embark on this journey with us, don't forget to subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell. Together, let's uncover the secrets that shape us and the confessions that set us free. Hi, I'm Emily. I never thought I'd be someone with a secret so devastating it could unravel lives. So forbidden, it claws at my very soul. But here I am, spilling this truth because I can no longer bear the weight of it. It's a story of longing, mistakes, and human frailty. I know some will judge me for it, but at this moment, judgment feels far lighter than silence. It began during one of Jake's countless business trips, Chicago this time. I was used to the loneliness. Our home had grown quiet, not from peace, but from neglect. His hand no longer brushing mine at dinner, his lips pressed to a screen instead of me. I almost forgot what it felt like to be desired, to be noticed at all. That void was unbearable, until Ryan stepped into it. Ryan wasn't just Jake's dad. He was pure magnetism, a man who exuded control and exuded allure without trying. His silver hair framed a face carved by time yet untouched by weakness. His piercing eyes, pools of exquisite blue, felt as though they could read my every thought, and that voice, low, rich, dripping with authority that curled around me like invisible chains. Every word he spoke made me feel visible again, after years of being glanced over, passed by. It started innocently. He came by to fix a pipe in the kitchen while Jake was away, but as he bent over beneath the sink, his shirt lifting just slightly, revealing a hint of taut muscle, I felt my cheeks flush. We talked that day, about life, about creativity, about passions. His attention to my art reignited a hunger in me, not just the hunger for connection, but for him. Then there was the subtle brush of his hand. Whether accidental or deliberate, I'll never know, but I do know the way his fingertips grazed my shoulder sent shivers down my spine. I kept telling myself it was harmless, that it would end there. But lies, once whispered internally, only grow louder. The next evening, Ryan called. "I found some old paintings you might like," he said. My heart pounded as if it already knew where this would lead. I knew going to his house felt like walking toward danger, but I went anyway. For a moment, I convinced myself it was about appreciating art. Yet, as I stepped inside, the tension hit me just as the oak-scented air did, thick, electrified, and impossible to ignore. We drank wine, shared quiet laughs, and exchanged glances that lingered just a second too long. His hand brushed against mine as he handed me a glass, and a quiet gasp escaped my lips. Before long, the space between us on the couch disappeared, the silence charged, his scent intoxicating. When Ryan kissed me, the world around us vanished. The press of his lips reignited something deep inside me, something dormant for so long I had convinced myself it was completely gone. His hands found their way around my waist, firm yet tender, his thumb tracing the dip of my back with agonizing delicacy. I melted into him, his touch making my thoughts scatter like fragile glass. That night wasn't just about a physical craving. It was a release of everything I'd pent up. His lips claimed every corner of me. His hands explored forgotten territory with the cherished reverence of a wanderer stumbling upon paradise. I trembled beneath his touch, every whisper of his name, every shared breath a spark igniting the darkness that had consumed me. But as the first rays of sunlight streamed through his window, reality rose with it. Guilt crept into my chest like a relentless storm, crashing over the fragile bliss of the night before. What had I done? How could I face Jake, knowing that his father had been where he should have been? Numb panic followed as I drove home, trying to convince myself it was a one-time mistake, never to be repeated. But it wasn't a one-time mistake. That kiss wasn't an isolated moment. Ryan became my forbidden addiction, a secret I couldn't resist. Late-night phone calls, stolen afternoons, whispers in dimly lit corners. It was as if we existed in an entirely different world, one where only the two of us existed. Jake would wrap his arms around me and I'd stiffen, feeling like a traitor. And yet when Ryan's hand grazed my thigh under the table at family dinners, desire would coil around me so tightly I couldn't breathe. Each encounter with Ryan felt reckless yet intoxicating. His lips left trails of fire on my skin, his touch transporting me to a realm of euphoria I had forgotten existed. And yet every moment apart from him filled me with crippling guilt. I hated myself for the choices I was making, for deceiving Jake, for risking everything, yet the pull toward Ryan was inescapable. I told myself I could stop, but the truth was, I didn't want to. How do you walk away from something that makes you feel that alive? Eventually, the weight of it all became unbearable. The love Jake asked of me, the desire Ryan ignited in me, it was a torment only I carried. Jake wasn't stupid. He began to notice a difference. I'd flinch when he kissed me, close my eyes and imagine someone else's hands on my body. It was cruel to him. It was cruel to me. But the more Jake retreated, the closer I clung to Ryan. Ryan started pulling back too. "We need to stop," he said after one heated encounter, his chest still rising and falling as I lay against him. But his words fell as hollow as my excuses. We didn't stop. We couldn't. Our affair was a beautiful storm, destructive but breathtaking, consuming and liberating. Then came the diagnosis: cancer. Just hearing the word made my world tilt. I had spent so long consumed by these tangled webs of longing and regret that I never expected reality would catch up to me this way. Suddenly, I was faced not just with my mortality, but with the truth that all my lies would outlast me. Jake deserved to know. He deserved the truth before I left this earth. When I told Ryan of my decision to confess, he froze. "Emily, you'll destroy him. You'll ruin this family." His eyes searched mine, shining with fear and anguish. But the truth kept clawing its way to the surface. Keeping this secret wouldn't heal us. "Jake, if you're watching this, I'm sorry. I betrayed your trust. I betrayed our love. I stepped into the arms of the one man I promised to respect. It wasn't out of hate for you or even out of lust for him. It was loneliness, Jake. It was the ache of being unseen, unheld, unacknowledged." Ryan made me feel like I existed. And for a woman who felt invisible in her own marriage, that feeling was intoxicating. I know those are hollow excuses for what I did, but it's the truth. Our marriage wasn't broken. It was abandoned by both of us. And maybe that's why I did what I did, though it doesn't justify any of it. I know this confession will hurt you in ways I can't even begin to imagine. It might tear apart the life I'm leaving behind, but the truth is better than the lie. And after I'm gone, I hope you'll find the strength to start new. Jake, you are a better man than I ever deserved, and I hope in time you'll find peace in your own way. By confessing, I know I'm burning the bridge we built together. But secrets have a heaviness to them, one that grows unbearable when time starts slipping away. My confession isn't just an act of guilt. It's a plea for understanding, for forgiveness, even if I might not deserve it. For a life drenched in flaws, for mistakes that felt too sinful to speak of, I leave behind truth as my last gift. Only you, Jake, can decide if it's enough. Thank you for sticking with me through this emotional journey. Stories like this are raw, messy, and painfully human, and that's what we're here for. Real stories, real confessions, and real emotions. If this story resonated with you or made you think, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Silent Confessions, Story of Infidelity. And trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next. Until next time, stay curious, stay compassionate, and take care.